Caitlin to the ground, and ooh, that's a hand to the neck, and then Alyssa Thomas.
Again, it's the extra swing on that. Had Jessica Shepard just put her arms up, and it was a basketball motion. Here's what I think is with the added discussion, I'm now wondering if they're again, it's the extra swing on that. Had Jessica Shepard just put her arms up, and it was a basketball motion. Here's what I think is with the added discussion, I'm now wondering if they're again, it's the extra swing on that. Had Jessica Shepard just put her arms up, and it was a basketball motion. Here's what I think is with the added discussion, I'm now wondering if they're again, it's the extra swing on that. Had Jessica Shepard just put her arms up, and it was a basketball motion. Here's what I think is with the added discussion, I'm now wondering if they're
Caitlin to the ground, and ooh, that's a hand to the neck, and then Alyssa Thomas. Caitlin to the ground, and ooh, that's a hand to the neck, and then Alyssa Caitlin to the ground, and ooh, that's a hand to the neck, and then
So initially, Angel pushes Natasha Howard. Caitlin Clark points out the no call. Then she applies a hard foul on Reese. Reese gets up right away to get in the face of Clark. Aaliyah Boston ends up getting between them. You'll see on this angle, the initial part seems okay from Clark, but then there's
Rbs Van Silk on the walk-in, on the check-in. What up, everybody? Rock Bottom Sports, 24/7. Van News Now, 24/7. We redistribute other people's content. We don't take the credit for it, but we just want people to be aware of everything. But listen, I'm aware of something right now that we gotta address. First of all, these lawmakers out of Iowa, Indiana, and Missouri gonna write a letter to the WNBA in regards to Caitlin Clark. Now, they ain't got the class clown in the White House to say something about it, but I guess this is their endorsement for them to try and stay in office. Let me explain something to y'all. Y'all have any clue or inkling about what's going on in the WNBA? You don't want to open up a can of worms, because I'm telling you about them worms in that can of Caitlin Clark being an instigator. Then what's going to drag on? It's going to drag on to how come her teammate Sophie Cunningham is in so many incidents that happen in basketball. Now, you want to talk about her throat issue? Caitlin Clark got hit, injured, or anywhere in her throat, she would have got up and grabbed her neck. Okay, we all know how that situation is, but see, this is where you get the whitewash the situation. The Boomer Esiasons and all these white analysts that I had respect for and don't respect anymore because they didn't investigate the situation, knowing that if Thomas would have had her hand opened and tried to get up, oh, she's choking her. She had to get up somewhere to get up off. It's a moving play. Then you got the AI-generated version showing that she just pushing her hand and smiling and laughing. And y'all idiots, just go for it. But you know what's so sad? Within a week later, Brittany Griner, and the video's going to be here, she got hit in her neck, in her throat, and laid on the floor holding her neck, because that's what's happened when you get hit in your neck or your throat. You grab it. It's like common sense would tell y'all, like, come on. Now, of course, in the rookie year, not only did Caitlin Clark get played hard, Angel Reese got slammed to the floor by her neck by Thomas. Alicia Thomas. And guess who was the coach for Alicia Thomas when that happened? Stephanie White, the coach of the Indiana Fever. She ain't make no outrage or said nothing because I guess it was black on black. But I'm going to show you the racism in the WNBA and it has to stop. So y'all lawmakers, stop trying to gain points and involve yourself in the situation and trying to get voters, because the MAGA audience definitely follow Keaton Clark. But you know, you're going to add salt to something that ain't there. But you know what, to you fans of the WNBA, watch the rest of this. Leave your opinion, but leave the racism out. Van Silk, Rock Bottom Sports, I'm gone.
Caitlin to the ground, and ooh, that's a hand to the neck, and then Alyssa Thomas.
Again, it's the extra swing on that. Had Jessica Shepard just put her arms up, and it was a basketball motion. Here's what I think is with the added discussion, I'm now wondering if they're again, it's the extra swing on that. Had Jessica Shepard just put her arms up, and it was a basketball motion. Here's what I think is with the added discussion, I'm now wondering if they're again, it's the extra swing on that. Had Jessica Shepard just put her arms up, and it was a basketball motion. Here's what I think is with the added discussion, I'm now wondering if they're again, it's the extra swing on that. Had Jessica Shepard just put her arms up, and it was a basketball motion. Here's what I think is with the added discussion, I'm now wondering if they're
Caitlin to the ground, and ooh, that's a hand to the neck, and then Alyssa Thomas Caitlin to the ground, and ooh, that's a hand to the neck, and then Alyssa Caitlin to the ground, and ooh, that's a hand to the neck, and then
Evans, quick drive, couldn't get the roll. More contact in the paint as Reese hits the deck again. And now they're going to review the last sequence.
That's going to be a little extra.
Yeah.
I think Alyssa Thomas is getting a little frustrated with Angel Reese and her intensity. And that time,
Evans, quick drive, couldn't get the roll. More contact in the paint as Reese hits the deck again. And now they're going to review the last sequence.
that's going to be a little extra.
Yeah.
I think Alyssa Thomas is getting a little frustrated with Angel Reese and her intensity. And that time, well, you see Angel Reese trying to come in. Oh my goodness. She had her hand around Angel Reese's neck area.
Thomas, but look, there's Angel Reese with the screen right there. Wow. And I think AT was just holding on for dear life.
It's time that it's real people speak up, okay? Because on my social media feed all day, Caitlin Clark this, Caitlin Clark that, Caitlin Clark this, and Alicia Thomas did that. We got Boomer Esiason and Stephen A. Smith and Colin Cohart and all these white media publicists and sport analysts and even Robert Griffin, clown. WNBA did this to themselves. When Sophie Cunningham slammed the girl to the ground, she was called an enforcer. Let's just go back 2 seasons ago when Alicia Thomas slammed Angel Reese by her neck from a rebound that could have paralyzed Reese. Where was the outrage? Where was the fucking outrage when Alicia Thomas slammed Angel Reese? Who was the coach? Stephanie White. What did she say? You're sitting here with a player, just like the NBA. Oh, Zion Williams is going to be the next one. Or this one from the Grizzlies, he's going to be the next one in the NBA. You're always looking for a face. But do the talent and the attitude goes with it? I've been watching basketball all my life. I've been watching the WNBA since the beginning because I had a couple players that played in the WNBA when they had no contracts. I'm tired of these Clarkies coming out. I only watch it because of Caitlin Clark. Half of you don't even have WNBA subscriptions. Go watch the YouTube channels. You got the clowns on YouTube. All they do for clickbait and clicks is to talk about Caitlin Clark. Now, let me ask you a question. In the middle of a play, y'all can slow it down all you want. Clark was already on the floor. They going for the ball. Oh, well, she need her and her groin. And her fist was down there. If she had an open hand, what would have been the situation then? She's trying to get up. Now, I'm not saying that Alicia Thomas is an angel. No, she played bully ball. Marina Mabrey played bully ball. I seen a post. Here's a post right now where they got 9 or 8 black players that had interaction with Caitlin Clark, but they didn't post none of the white girls, Sheldon or Mabrey, when they bumped her and threw her to the ground. They didn't show that. And this racism is coming out of Indiana. Indiana is the new Boston Celtics. The Indiana fans are racist. You got a lot of fake Indiana pages on social media that just go and post all kind of things. Y'all say nothing. WNBA is doing nothing. Y'all paying a lot of these sport analysts now to stay on top of this whole Caitlin Clark situation all day. They've been trying to trade her since last year. Nobody wants that problem. Caitlin Clark is under a management firm. She got rid of her agent that represented Nafisa Collier and a few others to go with this guy who represented nobody but her now. People looking at the top 30 anniversary poster. Caitlin Clark is not on there because Windcraft don't have her rights to put her on there, as Breonna Stewart, Tamika Catchings, and a few other players. Cynthia Cooper them is not on there. If you don't have the rights, you don't have the rights. But the WNBA need to sit Caitlin Clark down and address the media. Because her ways out of Iowa, West Bubblefuck USA, yes, you drew a crowd. Yes, you're a pretty good basketball player. Yes, you got pretty good eyes for the floor. Yes, you're a pretty good passer. But you're a ball hog. You think everything has to run through you. Nobody want to talk about the Fever winning the Commissioner Cup last year without Caitlin Clark. Oh, well, Kelsey Mitchell was there all these years and didn't do nothing. So Michael Jordan was on the Chicago Bulls for years and didn't do nothing until you got the good players around him. You got Aaliyah Boston. She has a black eye. I don't see nobody talking about that. She gets beat up down in the middle by these bigs. The best weapon Caitlin Clark got is her left arm, because all she do is stiff arm people, pull people, grab people's jersey, and y'all just want to sit up here and act like she's just supposed to take out the ball, come down the court, and nobody's supposed to guard her. This is not the NCAA, where 90% of the players in college basketball are there for scholarship. They're not even real good ball players. These players are playing for their career. They're playing for their livelihood. Oh, she brought so many eyes to the WNBA. No, she brought the eyes that was following her, because there is no fan in no city worrying about if Caitlin Clark play or not. I don't care if Caitlin Clark plays or don't play. Next man up. Boomer Esiason. All y'all clowns coming out. Well, come out for Angel Reese. Go back and look at this Angel Reese footage and see how she was slammed. That could have paralyzed her, because I guess it was black on black. You know, it wasn't, it wasn't this. When Sophie Cunningham did it, it was cool. She's an enforcer, you know. But you know what the problem is? Is y'all who are getting paid sponsorship to talk in favor of Clark. The WNBA voting, all her fans are just voting 2, 3, 4 times. Hey, come on, man. How's Sophie Cunningham in the top 20 in voting? I think she was in the top 20. A bench player. A player that was a free agent that nobody wanted but the Indiana Fever. How is it that the Fever got the easiest schedule in the first half of the WNBA? After Saturday, they don't play the next week, Saturday. 7 days off. Most of their games are home. The second half of the season, they're going to do like they did the first year. If they're 7th or 8th seed, they're going to ask some of the teams, they'll pass the memo, and we need the Fever in the playoff. Y'all could lose a game. Because the first season when they made the playoff with Clark, the Liberty, the Lynx, who was good at that time? The Liberty, the Lynx, I think it was a Connecticut, and one other team, they lost. So they can get in the playoffs. Game that you knew they shouldn't lose. But they were already solidified in the playoffs. So they lost the games in order for the Fever to be in the playoffs. Second year, you took a bunch of scrappy players that was hurt. Journey women in the league. And it was one game away from going to the finals. But see, it's funny. Because Clark didn't have nothing to do with the Commissioner Cup. They don't want to talk about that. They got rid of the other coach. Guess she wasn't no good. They went by Stephanie White wearing sneakers because she got her own sneakers. She's been in the league. She's a coach. Oh, they should trade Caitlin Clark. Ain't no top team in the WNBA want Caitlin Clark and her problems. And they definitely don't want your fans. Okay? We think the Lynx going to take her. What are they going to do with Olivia Miles? Or you think Sabrina's going to sit down for her? The only team that got the possibility of getting Caitlin Clark for a switch, if Kelsey Plum wants to do it, it's only 3 teams: Connecticut, Seattle, and the Mercury. If you want to send her to Seattle and change the Flage, go ahead. Because you can't play with Caitlin Clark. She dribbles the ball with one hand, she runs in the circle, then she stops dead inside the paint. And, you know, the only good thing they got, they know how to cut. I can tell you, a lot of you players are sleeping. They run the same shit. Kelsey Mitchell get behind you and they cut. I'm not taking nothing away from them. They're a scrappy team. Are they a top 10 team? Yeah. Only 14 teams anyway. So Caitlin Clark's going to be out on Saturday against the Sparks. Figured it. Now her back is hurting. She's generational wealth. Listen. This is a team that didn't even sell out all these season tickets in the beginning of the season. Oh, everybody else plays in small arenas. And listen, I remember one time in boxing, here they go again. We got the great white hope that could beat Mike Tyson, Jerry Clooney. Was it Clooney is trying to get him in the ring? Got his ass beat. Tommy Morrison got his ass beat. Go to show you how racist the situation is. Y'all don't put so much money into Caitlin Clark. Ain't nobody checking for those sneakers. Those are the old Kevin Durant sneakers. That's what Nike did. She don't get along with the players. She's not a Paige Becker. She don't have a good sense of humor. She walks around with her instigating clapping shit. Because that is some instigating shit. Especially when they get up, she wants to do that nasty ass clap. And then she wants to sit up here and twirl her hand around and get the crowd hype. You argue with the referees. You argue with your coaches. And then we're supposed to sit up here and feel sorry for you. You are not the face of the WNBA. You're only the face of the WNBA to those who look at you as that way. There are many people in this WNBA who helped build this WNBA. Oh, Caitlin Clark needs to start her own league. She couldn't even play in the unrivaled league. If you're so great getting the three-point contest, this WNBA, show them that you qualify. Because you only can shoot from the left side. All you do is push off, and then you fall. When they're close to you, no foul. Everything is a foul with you. You're the James Harden effect. People are like, yo, Van, you don't like Caitlin Clark. It's not, I don't like her. I don't like her demeanor. She's nasty. She's sneaky. Sophie Cunningham is sneaky. You know, at one point, I didn't even like Lexi Hall, but Lexi Hall stayed away from that bullshit. But y'all don't want to sit up here and admit that without this whole injury situation in college, it was 2 years in a row, Caitlin Clark, Iowa lost twice. LSU, South Carolina. Couldn't win the championship. Daniel played in the Team USA, they gave you MVP because you're the only person on the team that ain't got nothing. You're not the face of the league. You're the face of the league to the white people who adore you and to the sellout blacks who got the YouTube channels. The only way they can make any money or get any notice is by keep talking about you and taking up for you. Because ain't none of these guys ever talk about other people. The young lady Queer, she loves Chicago, but she talk about other players. Yo, Stephen A. Smith said the most smartest thing. You got a lot of the female former basketball players who are more in depth to talk about this than me, because he said he don't watch the games. Jason Whitlock, are they mad at him because he's sitting up here telling what he see? I didn't like Jason Whitlock at one point, but Jason Whitlock is being real about it because it's bullshit. Angel Reese got slammed to the floor. Nothing. A couple weeks ago, Skylar Diggins got hit in her eye, bleeding on the floor. Nothing. But soon as Sophie Cunningham do some shit, she's an enforcer. I had one guy call Alicia Thomas a monster. But this is what y'all talking about? This is what y'all trying to really be about? I don't care if you don't like me. I see what I see. I ain't taking none away from Caitlin Clark because she is definitely dangerous. Not just give her the floor to win. But she's definitely dangerous and can turn shit around. But you got other players on your team. You're not an all-around basketball player. You're not a defensive stopper. You take so many shots. You're just like LeBron James. Of course your stats supposed to be on all the shots. You got the ball 95% of the time if Kelsey Mitchell's not on the floor. And then you got the stupid film. Oh, Kelsey Mitchell never gives her the ball. Because Kelsey Mitchell is a two-guard. If she see Clark open, Clark's just stand there and throws her hand up. Because she thinks this is Iowa. Y'all don't want to get credit where credit's due. You take Angel Reese and all this out the way, it'll just been regular shit. But y'all white people are so infuriated because that black girl showed her ass and won that championship. The next year, the referee cheated UConn so Iowa could play South Carolina with that bullshit block on the floor with 8 seconds left. They don't even let them get a shot off. And you still lost the Dawn Staley team. The worst thing that ever happened in the WNBA was making Caitlin Clark the #1 pick in Indiana. Okay? They should have went and took Brinks, somebody. Let the Sparks do what they want to put in a big market. You're going to have to give somebody up. Okay? Because if any top WNBA player that was a free agent wanted to play with Caitlin Clark, they would have went there. They would have signed with them. But word is, she's a problem in the locker room. She don't want to be associated with none of the team shit. Okay? You got Cunningham and Lexi Hall and them, the blonde bleach Bobbies or whatever you want to call them. Like, yo, those are 2 bench players. They can't even dribble off the ball. They spot shooters. Yeah, I'll take a Cunningham or Lexi to come off the bench as a spot shooter. But Leah Borson and Hines, they be getting beat up. But Leah Borson actually got a black eye. A black eye. Clark is on the floor. Just like any other players on there. Okay. Thomas' hand was spotted. Thomas had to get up. Now, if Thomas would have opened her hand to get up, she's trying to choke her with her hand. So she moved her fist around. You're like, listen, this is an emotion of the game, and people are moving. But Clark say shit. She's chirping. But y'all don't want to say nothing. Referees need to get some balls and give her a check. Because she talks more bad and reckless with her mouth than anybody in the WNBA. Okay? And what's going to happen is she's going to find herself out the WNBA. Talking about, she go over to Europe. Ain't nobody in the United States going to buy no TV plan in Europe. Y'all don't even got a TV plan here to watch it right here in the United States. Stop all that bullshit. Okay? It was a great first year of the Caitlin Clark effect. Good. That shit is worn off on real basketball players. Do you actually think any of these teams, fans, care if Caitlin Clark plays or not? They want to win championships. They don't care if Caitlin Clark plays on Saturday if their team is playing another team. Who cares? I don't care. There's enough excitement in the WNBA. There's always been excitement. The WNBA have done a lot of these teams dirty. They've done a lot of the players dirty over the years when they didn't have no union, because I was there when Billy Hunter did his nasty shit. Okay? And you got all these Lisa Leslie and all these people, Caitlin Clark is the face. She ain't the face of shit. She's the face of the fever. Because to me, the #1 guard right now in the WNBA is a rookie by the name of Olivia Miles. Oh, well, she's on a good team. Yo, she left her team and went to TCU. Okay? She's a baller. Paige Becker is a baller. Azzy Fudd is a baller. Oh, Chelsea Gray didn't score no points the other night. She don't have to. You got Jackie Young and Jewel Lloyd and Angel, all them girls on there. Delissa Smith and them. You ain't got to go out there by scoring 30 points or 25 points. Ain't that all that logo shit is bullshit. You know it's bullshit. The Booming Science and all you white media, sport analysts, y'all full of shit. Calling you out on your shit. All you YouTubers, you're clowns. Because you one-dimensional. Because if she got traded right now to Seattle Storm, y'all be right over there with the same bullshit. And y'all the only people on social media that degrade a coach. Stephanie White's been degraded by the Fever, content creators on YouTube, and the fans more than all the coaches together combined. How is she supposed to work? And Caitlin Clark and the people know that. Now your back is hurting. Is your back hurting or your ego is bruised? And they're going to find a way, if they're the 8th seed, because they'll be an 8th seed, the 9th seed, they're going to find a way to have 4 or 5 teams towards the end of the year that's already locked in to lose games to them so they could be in the playoffs. Watch. Van Silk News Now. Van Silk Rock Bottom Sports. Called me a hater. I'm going to congratulate you. Because a lot of y'all out here is full of shit. You know it. Y'all out here, you don't even give the other players credit. Oh, well, you know, so-and-so got hurt in the game. Or y'all don't do none of that because as long as you put Caitlin Clark on your thumbnail, people going to watch it. That's it. WNBA need to crack down on these crackpots. That's it. I'm out.
And Caitlin Clark, it's not what she's got to understand. It's not about the clapping. That's not why the T came. It's because the referees are like, where's the end of this crap? All we see are eye rolls and jeering from Caitlin Clark nonstop. And maybe in isolation, none of those activities are enough to call it technical. But in the aggregate, all compiled together, you just get worn out and you're like, screw you. Hey, I've had enough. Learn a little bit. That is what's going on. And I agree with the officials there. They got to.
Nobody's jealous of Caitlin Clark. They're angry at the racism.
Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
You can't expect black women of the WNBA with all the hell that they catch to sit there and watch someone who is not as good as they are be elevated to a level that they were never put at. It's not fair. It's not jealousy. It's an anger because even at this level of society and professionalism and athletics, I still have to play second fiddle to the white girl.
Caitlin to the ground, and ooh, that's a hand to the neck, and then Alyssa Thomas.
Again, it's the extra swing on that. Had Jessica Shepard just put her arms up, and it was a basketball motion. Here's what I think is with the added discussion, I'm now wondering if they're again, it's the extra swing on that. Had Jessica Shepard just put her arms up, and it was a basketball motion. Here's what I think is with the added discussion, I'm now wondering if they're again, it's the extra swing on that. Had Jessica Shepard just put her arms up, and it was a basketball motion. Here's what I think is with the added discussion, I'm now wondering if they're again, it's the extra swing on that. Had Jessica Shepard just put her arms up, and it was a basketball motion. Here's what I think is with the added discussion, I'm now wondering if they're
Caitlin to the ground, and ooh, that's a hand to the neck, and then Alyssa Thomas. Caitlin to the ground, and ooh, that's a hand to the neck, and then Alyssa Caitlin to the ground, and ooh, that's a hand to the neck, and then